Hello everyone, this is Lalita Singh and you are going to study science with me in class 7. Today we are going to discuss a new chapter, that is reproduction in plant. It is 13th chapter of your textbook. Okay, and this is the very first video on this topic. In this chapter you will learn about what is multiplication or reproduction. Okay, what are the mode of reproduction in plant? What do you mean by asexual reproduction, vegetative propagation, sexual reproduction? How fruit and seeds get dispersed and how germination of seed take place. Okay, you can see lots of flowers are over here and they are most beautiful part of the plant. They are colorful. Flowers not only look pretty but also are important in making seed. Have you wondered what role the seed play? How do most of the plant reproduce? Reproduce. What do you mean by reproduce? Reproduction means that producing a young one of their own kind. You can see many different type of plant around you. Flower attract all of us. You have learned that most of the new plant grow from seeds and these seeds are formed from the flower. Thus, we can say that flower is the reproductive part of the plant. Okay, to produce a new type of plant of their own kind, plant need to produce seed so that we can get a new plant of their own kind. Now, reproduction is a process by which any living organism can give rise to their own kind. Every individual, every organism is having a certain age of lifespan. After finishing this lifespan, they die. But the life is continued due to the process of reproduction. It is one of the most important characteristic of all living being. It multiplies the number of individual of a population and ensure the continuity of life. Clear? Means if I am today over here, I will not be present after the 50 years. Okay, maybe possible I die due to the age and certain disease. Okay, but the life is still going on because my next generation and their next generation will be present on the earth in upcoming time. Okay, in the same manner, the plant, even after they spend their lifespan, their seed grow into a new plant to continue their life on the earth of their own species. Understood? So, what are the mode of reproduction? In case of plant, the mode of reproduction can be of two types, namely asexual mode of reproduction and second one is sexual mode of reproduction. Okay, what are the mode of reproduction? The first one is asexual mode of reproduction, whereas the second one is sexual mode of reproduction. Clear? In addition to this, some of the plant also multiply by vegetative propagation. What is vegetative propagation? What is asexual reproduction or sexual reproduction? We will understand it now. Okay, the first one is asexual reproduction. A organism which is performing asexual reproduction, they does not require another organism help. Okay, means in case of asexual reproduction, only one parent is required. It involves simple division of plant body into two or more plant, or the formation of spore under unfavorable condition like harsh environmental condition which are not suitable for the plant to survive. If there is a unsuitable condition, the plant may use this method to propagate to give rise a new plant. Okay, the second one is vegetative propagation. It is also a type of asexual reproduction in which a cell tissue, a part of plant body, develop into a new organism. Okay, vegetative propagation is also a kind of reproduction in which any part of the plant in different species give rise to the new plant. For example, in case of potato, we can see the potatoes which are the underground stem can also give rise to the new plant, and thus it is called vegetative propagation. Okay, now next is sexual reproduction. sexual reproduction is taking place by the formation of sheet, and to form sheet the plant need to form male and female gamete. Okay, these male and female gamete get fused together to form zygote, and this zygote develop into a sheet. Okay, so to perform sexual reproduction, two parents are required. Okay, now mode of reproduction is given over here in this flow chart. Okay, mode of reproduction in plant can be asexual, can be sexual, and can be vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation can be of two type: a natural method of vegetative propagation, and second one is artificial method of vegetative propagation, which is done by us, obviously. Okay, so these are all given over here. We will study about each of the point one by one. First, we are going to look at the asexual reproduction, which can be of many types. The four is discussed over here, that is budding, fission, fragmentation, and sporulation. So we will move toward the first, that is called asexual reproduction. Okay, in asexual reproduction, only a single parent is able to reproduce its own kind. They do not need the second parent. Gametes are not formed. Okay, because gametes are the cells which is not having the whole number of chromosomes. They are only having half number of chromosomes. So whenever the formation of gamete take place, it means two parents are involved over there. As in asexual reproduction, only one parent is involved. They do not need to form a gamete. They don't form a gamete. Understood? So if there is no gamete formation, so there is no need of union of gamete. Understood? Clear? Now, common form of asexual reproduction are budding, fission, fragmentation, and spore formation. Out of it, first one is budding. Budding is basically performed in case of yeast. Okay, microscopic organisms such as yeast reproduce asexually by budding. In this process, a small bulge-like projection can be seen over here, or we can have a look at this picture. This is the yeast cell. Over here in the second diagram, you can see a bulge, small bud-like projection came out from the parent cell. It is called bud, developing bud. Understood? The yeast cell is over here, and over here you can see a bud-like structure has been grown. Now, what happened? The bud gradually grow and get separated from the parent cell. See over here, the nucleus of a parent cell is already been divided, and the nucleus is pushed into the second constricted part. Clear? Now, new yeast cell grow, mature, and produce more yeast. Okay, this grown parts get detached from the parent cell, or they can also form a chain like bud over here. Okay, to form new yeast cell. In this process, if this process continue for some time, a large number of yeast cells are produced in a very short time. Clear? To understand this, we can perform an activity. Activity 1, to observe budding in yeast. For this, we need yeast powder, 100 milliliter beaker, warm water, sugar spoon, a glass slide, and a microscope. Okay, to perform this activity, what we will do? Take some yeast powder from the bakery or chemist shop. Now, put a pinch of yeast powder in a 100 milliliter beaker having some lukewarm water in it. Okay, now a spoonful of sugar can be added and shaken properly to mix it into the water. After an hour or so, put the drop of liquid on a glass slide and absorb this under microscope. You will have a clear look of these pictures. Okay, yeast can be seen in these various stages of life. It can be present in the form of chain. It can be having bud, the developing bud, and also some of the yeast will be present as a single cell. Okay, the next is fission. Next type of asexual reproduction is fission. In case of fission, the plant cells get divided into two or more different new individuals. Okay, fission means simply breaking down of the cell to give rise the new individual. It is common in bacteria. This is the example of bacteria over here. The central thread-like structure is the DNA of bacteria. first what happened, the DNA is prepared their own copy, then the both of the copies get separated inside the body of the bacteria, and later on what happened, the cell membrane constrict to divide the cytoplasm present in the cell. Okay, and ultimately at the end we can have two daughter cells or two daughter bacteria. In the same manner, it can be animal can plants can divide into two, then it will be termed as binary fission. If the plant body has been divided into many, then it is termed as multiple fission. Okay, next is fragmentation. Fragmentation is commonly found in green algae. Okay, you can see over here, the filament just break into two or more fragments by force of wave, wind or rain. Each of the fragment now grow and form their own new individual. Okay, this is the picture of Spirogyra. The both of the Spirogyra cells has been divided and they form two separate cells. Now after that, these both Spirogyra will develop and form new cells, and they will form a chain like structure. Both of the part of Spirogyra will develop. Okay, and this is called fragmentation. Each of these fragments will grow to form a new filament, and the process is basically seen in Spirogyra, which grow in pond or stagnant water. Okay, fragmentation is also seen in liverbird and mosses. The next mode of reproduction is spore formation. You may have seen development of green mosses or the green algae on the surface of pond water. Do you have idea that where these algae come from? Actually, the spores of these algae are present in the air. Okay, because they are lighter in weight, they are present in the air. These spores have come from this spore case. Okay, or we can say sporangium. These are the sporangium. Okay, these are the sporangium. Spores are tiny spherical asexual reproductive body. These have thick wall to withstand extreme conditions of environment. The spore develop into a new structure called sporangium. Mature spore keep floating in the air. Okay, since they are very tiny, very light in weight, they can flown to a very large distance as well. They can remain in the air for very long time until they can have a good environmental condition for them to sustain. Okay, now you can see these are the sporangium. Okay, these are sporangium. What is sporangium? A sac-like structure in which spores are produced asexually are called sporangium. Okay, sporangiums are what? Sporangium is a sac-like structure in which spores are produced. Now when the spores get mature, it bursts open and all the spores float away in the air. Along with air, it travel to a very far distance. Okay, and whenever they reach to a area which is having suitable climatical condition, all the things that is necessary for their growth is available over there, they will grow. Okay, and they will produce a new organism. Now we can understand it with the help of activity 2 to study the spores of Rhizopus under microscope. You may have seen such type of bread which has get spoiled. Okay, so to perform this activity, what do we need? We need a bread slice, water, a glass slide, a forceps and a microscope. Just what we have to do this activity, we will take a slice of bread, we will sprinkle some water on it. Okay, so that it can become moist, and we will keep it into a dark and warm room for 2 days. Okay, after this duration, you will observe that if you will take out this bread piece, you will observe that there is some foamy structures are present on top of the bread. Okay, what you have to do is you have to clean a slide and put the blackish thread like structure which has developed on the bread. Okay, you have to take a slide specimen from the bread and put it on the slide, and later on you can observe it. Okay, you may have seen a green spongy material on the slice of the bread. These materials are bread mold. Okay, under favorable condition, each spore germinate and develop into new organism. Bread mold, which is also known as rhizopus, reproduce asexually by spore formation. Plant like mosses, fern are also reproducing by means of spores, means those plant which do not form their own flower. Okay, the plant which do not produce their flower, they can reproduce with the help of spores as well. Okay, spores are what? Spores are asexual bodies, which these asexual cells means the number of chromosome is similar to the parent cell. Okay, if the cell is asexual, it means asexual reproductive body, it means it is having number of chromosome equal to the parent cell. Okay, see, these asexual bodies just simply grow, divide to form a new organism. Understood? Now next is vegetative propagation. In some of the cases, reproduction may take place with the help of root, stem, leaf of the plant. These parts, root, stem and leaf, are called vegetative part of the plant. As the production of new individual is taking place with the help of these parts, so it is called vegetative propagation. In vegetative propagation, new plants are produced from root, stem and leaf. As these new plants have been produced from the root part, from the stem part or from the leaf part, so they are exactly having the similar characters of their parents, means we are simply extracting the cells from the parent cells to develop into a new one. Okay, so characters has not been changed, the quality of product has been produced by the parent plant will also be produced by the new young plant. Understood? Means nothing, no characters has been changed over here, so they can be considered as clone. Okay, as they are having similar type of chromosomes, similar type of genetic structure. Understood? Potatoes, okay, sweet potatoes, dahlia, banana, garlic, mint, grapes, these all are the plant which can be grown with the help of vegetative propagation. There are a number of natural ways in which in nature vegetative propagation take place, but we have also designed several methods through which vegetative propagation can take place. So based on where the idea come from, okay, vegetative propagation can be of two types. First is natural method and second is artificial method. Okay, so in natural method, vegetative propagation can take place with the help of roots. It actually happen in case of dahlia or sweet potato, asparagus. The roots become swollen due to the stored food in them. Okay, and these roots are called root tuber. When left in the soil, new plant arises from these roots. Okay, when we left them into the soil, it can give rise to new plant. See over here. Okay, so if the plant are growing from the root part of the parent plant, it is known as vegetative propagation with the help of root, and those root who had stored the food material for the future use are known as root tuber. Okay, now with the help of stem, how can we get a new plant with the help of stem? You can see over here, potatoes, gingers, these are all actually stem. Even the onion at the top, at the base over here, it is having a hard structure, that is also a modified stem. Okay, these are all what? Stem. So the underground stem or subaerial stem are especially modified for vegetative propagation as well. Underground stem, these are of the following type. First is tuber and second one is rhizome. Okay, tuber means the potato which grow underground is known as stem tuber. Why? Because it is a swollen part due to food storing. It has bud in the depression. Okay, you can see in potatoes there are bud in the depression. The part where it is slightly pressed is having bud, which is known as eye. These birds give rise to a new plant whenever they come into contact with good environment for growth of new plant or favorable environment. Okay, the stored food in these plant help them to grow a new plant. Second one is rhizome. You can see irregular shape. This is called rhizomes. It is an underground stem again that bears the bud as well. These buds grow to give rise a new plant. Rhizome is found in ginger and turmeric. Basically, rhizomes are the part of underground stem which has irregular shape, just like ginger and turmeric. Understood? Now, next is bulb. Next is bulb. It is very short underground stem surrounded by a fleshy scale leaf. Okay, these scale leaves stored food. The bulb is found in onion. Okay, in this spring, some stems shoot from the central of the scale leaf to form new plant. This is the cutted part of the onion. Okay, and this is what the stem is, the lower basal region over here. Above, just above the root is the stem part, which is surrounded by fleshy leafy structure. Okay, these leaf stored food for the future use of the onion to let them have a new plant, to let them grow a new into a new plant. This is called bulb. Okay, this is called bulb. Bulb is found only in onion. In this spring, stem shoot out from the central of the scale leaf to form a new plant. Okay, each potatoes are having certain depression. These depression are termed as eye. Why do we call them eye, and why the potatoes are having depression? Actually, potatoes are underground stem part. Okay, and every plant stem is having nodes and internode. Okay, so what are these depression? These depression are nodes present on the stems. Okay, so at the node every plant is having special kind of cell that can give rise to different part of the plant. So these potatoes are also having these cells, which is known as axillary bud. Okay, bud present in the eye of potato, tuber represented as axillary bud. It developed to form different aerial part of the plant. Next is subaerial stem. In grass, mint, oxalis, chrysanthemum and strawberry, these type of reproduction can be seen. Subaerial stem propagation can be seen. In this type of propagation, what happened? The aerial branches arise from the nodes and form a new plant. You can see the aerial branches has arise from the nodes of the strawberry plant and it get buried into the soil to give rise new root and new leaves, in terms making a new plant. Now after the second plant is ready, the connection between the parent and the daughter plant can be get broken. Understood? And both of the plant will live separately and individually. Clear? Now over here we are having third activity, which is to absorb vegetative propagation in potatoes. You can see these are the potatoes. Potatoes are having eye-like structure. Okay, potatoes are having eye-like structure and these eyes are having a bird present in them. Okay, so to perform this activity, we need to take a potato and we will locate the depression present in the surface of the potato. Each eye is having bud which grow into a new plant. So we will cut the pieces of potato by making it sure that every piece should carry at least one eye, and then we will bury them into the soil, moist soil. Okay, so that they can have moisture to grow new plant. After some time or after few days, you can see that every part of the potato which you have buried into the soil, which is having a eye, they grow into a new plant. Why? Because every part, every stem, okay, over here a potato is having an axillary bud. We know that the stems at the node, they have axillary bud which can give rise to new plant. In the same manner, new part of the plant like leaves and all. So in the same manner, the potato over here is a part of stem which is having depression Okay, and this depression indicate the presence of axillary bud. These bud give rise new plant. This, see, by producing new roots, new stems, new leaves. Clear? Next is propagation through adventitious buds on leaf. Actually, you can see this diagram over here. This is the picture of bryophyllum leaf. Okay, this leaf is fleshy and bear adventitious bud. This leaf is what? Fleshy, and they wear adventitious bud in the notch present along the margin. The margin region is having lots of notched. Okay, and each of these notch are having adventitious bud. Bud is a part of plant which can give rise to any part of the plant. Okay, which can make any part of the plant. When such a leaf fall on the soil from the plant, okay, these birds grow to give rise several new plant with fleshy stems such as cacti produce new plant when their parts get detached from the main plant. Okay, and each detached part can grow into new plant. In the same manner, in case of bryophyllum and other plants, these adventitious buds has been grown into several new small plantlet. Okay, so when they fall down from the leaves onto the ground, they come in a close contact with the soil which is having lots of mineral, and as well as they are having water. So basically the plant is getting all the required environment that is needed for them to grow. So the plant or plantlet which has fallen down from the leaflet of the bryophyllum, they get a firm attachment with the soil and they grow over there. So class, that is all for today. Okay, in next video of our we will study about artificial method of vegetative propagation. Until then, have a nice day everyone.